another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ died and he rose again. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. So, I want to get into this. There was an article on Basketball Network, okay? And there were many people who were stating the obvious, that the Orlando Magic were way too young to win the NBA championship, okay? And the Magic admitted that when they made the NBA Finals, they were having a good time. They were like going to the mall, they were flying women in, chasing women and all that. And I remember reading in Shaquille O'Neal's book, he was saying he could kind of see that the championship was kind of getting away from the Orlando Magic, okay? And but it certainly didn't appear that way at first, okay? You remember the Orlando Magic got out to a 20-point lead late in the second quarter. Then the Rockets went on a late run, cut the lead to 11 by halftime. And then I believe the turning point in that series came when the Magic were up by 20, okay? Late in the second quarter, the Rockets went on a late run, cut the lead down to 11. Then the Rockets came out guns blazing in the second half as far as three-pointers go. And yeah. So I think the turning point of that series came when the Rockets went on that late run, and Kenny Smith talked about it. He said, he said, hey, if we just get it down to 15 or 11, they'll fold, okay? And they did, right? So I saw an article on Basketball Network where Horace Grant talked about, Horace Grant admitted, rather, that the Orlando Magic were not ready for the 1995 NBA Finals. All right? The article is titled, "We Were a Little Green Even with My Experience. Horace Grant admits that the Magic weren't ready for the 1995 NBA Finals." Okay? Grant realized how his presence was insignificant for the Magic. Okay? Okay. So the article starts out like this. After Horace Grant logged a career-high 15.1 points near the 94 season, when Michael Jordan had retired, he knew he had plenty to offer on the team with championship aspirations and potential. That confidence led him to joining the young and hype duo of Shaq and Penny in Orlando, believing that he was the last piece of their championship puzzle. However, after reaching the NBA Finals in his very first season with the Magic and seeing his team get schooled by Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler, Grant realized how his title-winning experience was practically insignificant for his new team on the big stage. Hakeem and Clyde on the Houston Rockets. Horace Grant actually had this to say. "We were a little green, even with my experience," Grant said. "We were still a little green out there in terms of playing in the finals and knowing how to win in the NBA Finals." Okay? Nobody really knew what to expect but Horace Grant, because he had been there the previous, he had been there 3 times with the Bulls. So nobody really knew what to expect. And Horace Grant talked about this. He said, "So when I say enjoy it, because you never know if you're going to get hit here again, I'm not talking about staying out to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning." And that's what Shaq was talking about when he said, "I could kind of see the championship getting away from us," okay? Nonetheless, the Orlando Magic entered the 1991-92 season looking like a team built to dominate. They must mean the 1994-95 season, okay? Because in 1992 they went 15-67, okay? Yeah, they were they went 15-67 in 1992, okay? So they must mean 1994-95, okay? Nonetheless, the team was led by Shaq, who averaged a league-leading 29.3 points, while Penny was an All-NBA first-team selectee with 20.9. On the other hand, Horace Grant himself was an All-Defensive Team selectee, and Nick Anderson logged a scoring average of nearly 16 points per game. Okay? That talent translated into the Magic bullying their opponents in the initial rounds. They got past the Celtics in the first round, followed by a victory in the next round against the Jordan-led Bulls. Now, I think Horace Grant's presence made a difference in the Bulls series, okay? I think his presence definitely made a difference in the Bulls series. Then in the conference finals, they dug deep and beat Reggie Miller's Indiana Pacers in the gritty 7-game series. However, as expectations surrounding the Magic's team skyrocketed, the Rockets repeatedly exposed their lack of maturity in the NBA Finals. Could not have been said any better. Okay? Grant recognized that he needed to do more. Is the title of a paragraph in the article. In Game 1 of the championship round, Shaq and Penny combined for 52 points. But Olajuwon and Drexler answered with 54 points as the Rockets escaped with a victory in overtime. The Rockets followed it up with an 11-point victory in Game 2, a contest in which Grant had only 4 field goals in a total of 40 minutes on the floor. In Game 3, the Rockets once again executed better down the stretch, outscored the Magic in the fourth quarter and winning the contest by 3. Robert Horry hitting the game-winning three-pointer. With Hakeem outperforming Shaq with a 31-point performance. In Game 4, Hakeem dropped 35 points to register a clean sweep against the Orlando Magic. And although Grant averaged 13.5 points in that series, he believed he should have used his championship experience more to help the team be better. The disappointment continued the following season when the Magic faced the Chicago Bulls in the 96 Eastern Conference Finals. Grant was sidelined due to injury and appeared in just one game. As a result, the Bulls completed a convincing 4-game sweep. As a result, Grant never won the championship he envisioned after leaving Chicago. Now, I think not only was Horace Grant injured in that 96 series against the Bulls, that whole Magic team wasn't healthy, okay? In the 1996 Eastern Conference Finals, Horace Grant had sprained his elbow, hurt his elbow against Atlanta the previous series. And then he ran into Shaquille O'Neal at one point during the game in Game 1, and he was out for the series. Then Brian Shaw woke up with muscle spasms on the morning of Game 3, so he was out for Game 3 and didn't play in Game 4 either. John Kahankak had a sprained knee. Nick Anderson was hurting and he missed Game 4. Penny was playing with a sprained knee. So yeah, that Magic team was not healthy at all going into the 1996 Conference Finals, okay? And it showed. Okay. And the person affected by that finals loss, I think Nick Anderson. And Nick Anderson admitted this. He said the dog was still there, but there was no bite. Okay. Nick Anderson, if you watch that Magic documentary, he said, to this day, I hear people say, well, what if Nick Anderson had made one of those 4 free throws? Okay. And Nick Anderson went on to say, I think he said people wouldn't let me forget it And Nick Anderson said to his detriment, he didn't let himself forget it. Okay, so people were constantly reminding him of those 4 missed free throws, and Nick Anderson said, to his detriment, he didn't let himself forget it. As a result, his first couple of seasons in the league, 11.5 points as a rookie, 14.1 in 1991, nearly 20 points in 1992 and 1993. And then Shaq and Penny duo in 1994, his scoring average went down by nearly 5 points or 4 points, really, to 15.8 in 1994 and 1995, okay? I think that was due to Shaq and Penny taking over, being the lead dogs, okay? And I remember Dennis Scott saying, yeah, this ain't our team no more. This is Shaq and Penny's team, so we're just gonna ride this wave, okay? And so as a result, after the final sweep, his scoring average went down to 14.7 in 1996. 1997, 12 points, okay? And not only that, his field goal percentage went down too. And his free throw percentage went down too, yeah. As a result, he shot a career low 40% from the free throw line in 1997. Yeah. Shot a career low 40% from the foul line in 1997. And all the Magic players, former Magic players, assistant coaches, they were all saying the same thing. It was a big hit on his career. It just seemed like he did not want to go to the line after that. Okay. Yeah, so yeah. So the player most affected by that was Nick Anderson. I don't think he ever really recovered from that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let me see. Okay. 1990-91 Skybox, okay? 1991 Skybox. 91-92 Skybox, okay? All right. Let me see here. Of course, I was gonna show Michael Jordan, right? MJ. All right. There goes Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's playground. All right. Gotta show this. Man. And the late Stacey King. Okay. The late Stacey King. And there was Stacey on the punching bag right there. All right. All right. Scottie Pippen. All right. And little Scottie with his 2 Rottweilers right there. All right. John Paxson. All right. There goes John right there. Let me see. I'm trying to go through these as quickly as I can. Magic Johnson. All right. There you go, right there. Magic. AC Green. AC Green. There goes AC right there. All right. The 1990-91 Rookie of the Year, Derek Coleman, right there. All right. There goes Derek Coleman, right there. All right. Ewing's returns. Right. Clyde Drexler. Johnson. David Robinson. Okay. So I'm going to skip ahead. Here we go. Okay, yeah. So wanted to show you almost not my mic over. Yeah, there goes the Dream Team right there. Dream Team, Charles Barkley and Larry Bird right there. Right. Okay. And see if I can fit this whole page into the screen. There you go. Hope I can do it. Yeah. Dream Team right there. All right. And there goes the Dream Team. Right there. Right there. All right. And you had Chuck Daly as a coach. The assistant coaches, PJ, Mike, Coach K, and Will Hawkins. All right. And I think this is probably the best one right here, where they got the Barcelona. Yeah, they got the Barcelona. Yeah, got the team photo in 3 different cards. Got the team photo in 3 different cards, right? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. All right, there goes the coaches right there, the assistant coaches, and there goes the 84 squad that went. Oh, wait a second. That's the 88 squad. My bad. Yeah. Yeah, my bad. That's the 88 squad. My bad. All right. Now here we are. Okay. Now there go some of the members of the 88 squad and some of the members of the 84 squad right there. Okay. All right. All right. There you go. And there you go. And yeah, John Concack, Sam Perkins, Alvin Robertson, Wayman Tisdale, Jeff Turner. Okay. And there they go right there. All right. All right. Okay. Finally. Let me see here. Maurice Cheeks, Travis. Second series. Travis Mays. Okay. There goes Travis Mays right there. All right. And there goes Travis right there. Now, Travis Mays, okay. He averaged 14.1 points in his rookie season, okay. He spent his rookie season with the Sacramento Kings, okay. Averaged 14.1 points per game. Then got traded in a deal for Spud Webb that sent Spud Webb to the Sacramento Kings. So he was part of the trade that sent Spud Webb to the Sacramento Kings. Okay. And he got injured early in the 91-92 season, and he only played one more year. Okay. So, yeah, he averaged 14.1 points per game his rookie season, gets traded for Spud Webb, gets injured in the 91-92 season, and then he only plays one more season, and then that was it. Okay. Oh, man. All right. Bobby Hansen, Chicago Bulls, the Bulls traded for him earlier in the season, okay? Bulls traded for him earlier in the season, okay? 91-92. All right. Arthur Davis, Winston Garland, Brad Sellers, Lionel Woolridge, James Edwards. Look who it is. Doc Rivers. Okay? Doc Rivers. There you go. There goes Doc right there. Brad Sellers, Shaq Haley, Sadell 3, Moses Malone. Moses Malone. Milwaukee Bucks. Okay? Alright. There you go right there. Alright. I'll come back to that one last. Yeah. Okay. The man the Chicago Bulls traded for Bobby Hansen, Dennis Hobson. Yep. That's who the Bulls traded to the Sacramento Kings for Bobby Hansen, Dennis Hobson. All right. And there goes Dennis Hobson right there. The man who unfortunately got traded to the Sacramento Kings for Billy Owens. The Rock, Mitch Richmond. All right. The Rock, Mitch Richmond. There goes Mitch right there. All right. The man traded for Travis Mays. Spud Webb. All right. Spud Webb. There goes Spud Webb right there. All right. And for those of you who may have forgotten, Ralph Sampson actually spent a little bit of time with the Washington Bullets. Yep. Ralph Sampson. Yep. There goes Ralph right there. All right. Okay. And so, I have a story about his particular card right here. Okay. This is Tim McCormick, okay? Signed by the Knicks as a free agent for the 91-92 season, okay? All right. There goes Tim McCormick right there, okay? And so Charles Oakley had this way of seeing if players were intimidated or not, okay? So Pat Riley. So it's training camp, okay? And McCormick and Oakley went at it in practice every day in Pat Riley's first season as head coach, okay? And Oakley would just beat up on Tim McCormick. He would just beat up on Tim McCormick, beat him up, until one day Tim McCormick decided he had had enough, okay? So he's guarding Oakley in practice one day, okay? And Oakley is giving it to him. All of a sudden, he busts Charles Oakley in his mouth. Okay, I kid you not. He busts Charles Oakley in his mouth. And so Oakley walked away to find a trainer. And he's giving Tim McCormick like a death stare, Okay? And so damn, the next day in practice, Charles Oakley comes in, and Tim McCormick is thinking he's about out to kill me. But instead, Charles Oakley did this. Charles Oakley came into practice and said, "Hey, Tim, how are you doing?" And that's when Tim McCormick realized, hey, Charles Oakley never really respected me until I hit him back. Okay? So when Tim McCormick decided he had had enough of Charles Oakley and busted Oakley in his mouth, that's when Charles Oakley said, okay. I respected this dude, okay? And the thing about it is, Tim McCormick never really played during the 91-92 season. It's the Knicks, right? Okay? All right. That's it, and that's all for Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I'm out of here. May God bless you all.